Game number 1, best of 5, ladies and gentlemen. The Mustaches against the Potatoes on Cursed Hollow is our first map. This is the grand final of the Rare Cup, and we have 2 Division 6 teams that go up against each other. Now a little disclaimer as usual, even an Abathur ban, wow, look at that. I'm impressed. So, as we already mentioned a little bit in the past, these are the bottom leagues of Heroes Launch, which usually means that the average MMR is gold to bronze. So pretty low. The teams are actually a lot more coordinated than expected, and they're definitely trying, but there's a lot that you will still see in terms of drafting, in terms of talent builds and decisions made in the game that are definitely more so representative of having lower league players in there. And we're going to make quite a bit of fun of that, and we're also going to try and talk a bit about improvements that can be possibly made to improve the outcome even more. But either way, I want to quickly let everyone know that the players are fully aware of that the players encourage it, and there's no feelings are getting hurt in the production of this video. So whoever's out there watching this right now and then at some point sits there and is like, I'm getting offended on behalf of someone else that I don't even know. Calm down. This is all in good fun. And the people that are involved are all on board with it. So, with that said, we're currently having our first pick straight up globals. Dehaka picked for the global, okay. And Uburak and Greymane banned out. Now, of course, these two teams have actually seen the semifinals with the opponent playing, so they have a little bit of an idea of what's going on there. Yeah, there's ETC. Dibbles is still up, and so is Leo, and those were 2 of the stables that we had for the Mustaches. Rega and ETC together with Dehaka. They really like their ETC. Maxi Monster now for the second time on ETC after he played it in the semi-final on Battlefield of Eternity. Seems to be a regular pick for them. And Zemba with Rega can now also go for the camps on the map pretty easily with a lightning shield. As we said before, it's not only the ability to take the camp, it's the ability to take the camp in time. And the Kel'Thuzad ban after the last map that was played in that semi-final. In addition to that, Tirana gets banned out too. Okay. And that means that there's no burn down synergy with Dibbles and the Hunter's Mark here. Leo? I mean, again, so far they've always played Leo whenever they could here. If maybe on Cursed Hollow they're starting to shift that slightly, but so far has worked for them. And shocking! Leo is getting picked. The Diablo and Leo are set up whenever they can. So with this, let's see what we're going to have for the final picks. We need damage! We need damage! And the Potatoes, well, what are they gonna go for in terms of damage? I mean, right now, when it comes to the auto attacker, it's actually pretty easy. I mean, you have still a lot of those in Jimmy, and they add Li Ming to their test. Okay, so they have Jimmy who can control Dibbles also a little bit, has to be careful of Leorix and Tomb. You got Li Ming on top of that too. And the final pick as we're heading into our first map of the best of 5. For the Mustaches. What are we gonna have as a second damage dealer for them right now? Could go triple frontline as well if they find another hero like Thrall. They can also pack a punch there. But it's Malthael instead. Alright, Last Right's gonna be activated, and that brings us to game number 1. Cursed Hollow is the opening map, so let's jump right in. Game number 1, the Mustaches on Cursed Hollow on the left with Maku on Leoric, Faldos on Malfurion, Search on Jaina, Blauer Mink on Diablo, and Okapi on Malthael. And over to the right side, we have the Potatoes again with Zemba on Rega. We're seeing Oriel Wood on Dehaka, Morse on Reyna, Lucy on Li Ming, and Maxi Monster on ETC. Alright, going into the race car here. Race car build for Dehaka. Dehaka Shaka Laka. And they already have a couple of stuns in play. And that helps them obviously with the added damage for Reyna. Trying to proc that level 1. But as it stands, big question of a little bit of more defensive setup here. Already the split onto the off lane with the heroes. It's the grand final, and actually both of them did get a 2-0 in the semifinals. So, Mustaches, I mean, they played pretty well there. The question is, can the Potatoes maybe take them down here? They have the global, so from a macro perspective, they definitely have a bit of an advantage. But, again, we have seen too many globals that just don't really do on the map what they are supposed to do on the lower leagues. So I'm not 100% certain if that's going to change here, but we'll definitely keep an eye out for Dehaka to see if he makes those plays. For now, we're going to see in just a few seconds, teams probably rotate over to the camps. I was impressed that in the previous games that we had on the lower end here, the teams definitely kind of knew what they were supposed to do here. So we had the very quick rotation over to the siege camps. Now we're already seeing Jaina make her way towards the left side to take this one. Red team, on the other hand, doesn't really make that play. But especially the Moustaches have obviously already played on the map before. It was the exact same opening map for them in the series in the semi-final, but Rega is now taking over here. That's a little bit of a bad position for him, to be honest, because that lightning shield only hit one of the giants there. But again, it comes down to his in the middle. Yeah, thank you. Okay, there we go. Zemba takes down one and is about to take down the second, but at the top we already have the siege giants moving through. Alright, so we have the objective here. Dehaka is at the top lane, so in an ideal world you would try and rotate Dehaka down so that he can tunnel up. Oftentimes that is not quite worth it, so we should still see a rotation down from the bot side. But yeah, if they could, or if they wanted to, they can still make that play so that Dehaka is at the bottom of the map and has a little bit more time to deal with this. And currently that's not really happening. So that global during the first objective is already not giving you a whole lot of an advantage. You might still be able to tunnel Dehaka down to the bottom of the map after you see the objective taken. But Rega even trying to time this. So Zemba not even moving onto the map. The whole reason for it is he's waiting for the actual curse or the tribute to come up, and then he wants to take that, so that down at the bottom of the map ETC can rotate top, but Marku or his Leoric will have to make a decision. Does he go top side, or does he wait for the siege giants to come through so that he can de-push them easily, which will keep him at the bottom of the map a little bit longer, which can turn the fight up at the top into a 5 versus 4. So now all of these plays are obviously enhanced if you are managing to get Dehaka down to the bottom of the map, but right now we are seeing none of that happening. So again, could be stronger, but there is definitely an idea behind it. The one thing that they're missing out on, which is a bit of a problem, is that now this camp is pushing. And as you can see here, it pretty much coincides also with the camp to be taken. So now there needs to be a defense in the middle as quickly as possible to make sure that those knights are not going to do too much work while all of this is happening. So ETC should at this point start the rotation towards the top. And Leo is moving. Leo is actually moving, so they're gonna let this go. Nice route that we have here, against 2 or 3 even. Tribute is about to spawn, everybody rotates up. And now, the longer this fight lasts, the better for the red team. So at this point, you don't even have to win that tribute necessarily anymore. You're just buying time. At this point, you are just trying to buy as much time as you possibly can to get some value through that. And if you can get kills and win it, then obviously that's even better. But here comes the aggression. Maximonster needs to be careful, gets stunned into the wall, and goes down. So much for playing it slow. So at the bottom of the map, we are still having the siege giants in play. There's a little bit of value that they already got. Interrupt comes in again. Faldas is also low. And the kill against Malfurion. Nice! All of a sudden, the potatoes are having still a chance of taking this, especially after they take Leo down. And they're going for another kill against Jaina, and they get it! And in the meantime, the bot lane is suffering as well. That is what happens if you time a camp properly. And it would be even better with Dehaka being at the bottom of the map as this all starts. But he can at least move down and try and keep those siege giants alive for a little bit longer and see if they can maybe take down that second turret here. So all in all, a pretty solid situation now for the potatoes. Great start into this particular game, into the first one here, taking the bottom wall down. Yeah, there's the drag, and so the siege giants keep alive a little bit longer. They won the first tribute, they have now a leading experience, 3 kills against 1. So every single aspect that you could really think about looks better at this point for the red team. And yeah, if that continues would be great, but obviously things in the early game oftentimes change. Builds, very, very normal what we're seeing right now. We have slight adjustments on the level 4 with the Spirit Walker's Grace for a bit more mana sustainability. Yeah, there's a bit of an attack down to the bottom of the map, but Dehaka should easily be able to move away from this, not really having a big issue with that. And outside of this, the talent's still pretty solid. Bit of a better spawn now for the Moustaches, but Jaina is at the top lane. is trying to get one more wave out, but will be late to the party therefore. But now they have the Siege Giants. And again, where's the Haka? Not where it's supposed to be. The Haka is supposed to be top lane. This is a perfect example of trying to play with globals. The Haka has no business here. He needs to be top lane. He needs to push this out. They get the second tribute though. So that's a bit of a misplay here from the Mouse Dashers, which actually negates the entire value that they had topside. So now the Haka can simply move top, and things probably now, well, I did everything perfect. And again, kind of didn't, because the only reason why this worked out is because the blue team fucked up. Blue team didn't get their talking about fucking up. Yep, Malthael, you kind of want to get away from this one. So yeah, the blue team got zoned out here, so they couldn't get their heroes to defend this, and there was an easy claim on the tribute. But if the blue team does their job and actually delays this for quite some time, then what would happen is that the top Siege Giants are getting mass value because the Haka was at the wrong lane. Lucy now might even die, and does. So that's really the moment where it might turn around against the red team a little bit. But here's the attack, and now that they let that boss leash, it means that they just invested a lot of time without getting anything out of it. Tribute spawns, and where's the Haka? Exactly where he needs to be. Can even wait for another wave right now, has all the time in the world, can get the AoE player in there. That's exactly where it needs to be. Get the lead for your team, and make sure that they then burrow down where need be. They don't want to fight here either, because they don't have Li Ming with them yet. The Haka's about to burrow down. Yeah, there comes the last rites. That's the kill against Rhaegar, and these are staggered deaths. ETC is down as well. So at this point, what was the play? The play was to simply delay the take of the objective, allow Li Ming to come back in, and then move the Haka down to the bottom of the map. Instead, they were bullied into a fight, and obviously lost it because they didn't respect the Entomb. Leo dropped it, connected it, and with that, the ults were used, and now we're having a kill on their end. But the Haka was at the top lane, and I actually liked that didn't burrow down. There was nothing to gain there anymore, especially after the kill happened. So now when it comes to the minion experience, they at least did well there. And yeah, so far that is actually looking still okay. Boss still gets attacked, but that's an easy grab, of course. Normally what you would have seen from a lot of the teams is at this point, when they realize, okay, boss is about to be taken, try and make their play for their own boss at the top and try to go for an even exchange. So this is one of the things that you oftentimes try and pull through there. But again, at this point, we're having the rotation straight into the middle, and yeah, with that, we're having now a move towards the potential curse tribute right there. Mink is already sitting there. And again, the Haka is also up at the top, trying to get that channel through. Lucy firing from the side here. Heroic abilities are soon going to be all up again. Devils in particular needs the Apocalypse right now, and is trying to wait for this. Absolutely, Entomb into APOC would be a thing. Cooldown reduction is already kicking a little bit in for Malthael. If he gets a second stack there, it would be fantastic. Here comes the APOC, a little bit random, but still connects with one or two. ETC gets the immediate last rights push. Gets the 3-man out, but still interrupted the double kill against Malfurion. And Jaina, on the other hand, makes this a worthy trade for them for sure. And here's an attempt to go straight in for a kill against Malthael. And yeah, he can run, but he can't hide. And is going to survive for another second before Li Ming takes him down. Nicely done by Lucy. And that sub-player is worth his weight in gold. So yeah, great job. Bottom, on the other hand, has been eliminated. The fort, for reasons pointed out earlier. That boss obviously did some value plays. And here comes the push straight through the middle. The Haka moving down to the bot side immediately. That gives him a lot of experience. And that split is definitely something that is quite valuable. Because obviously you want to get as many of those minions that are now starting to push in with one hit point eliminated as you proceed. 5 kills against 6. Still the move through the top and down to the bottom of the map. The Haka gets slightly zoned out, but can easily now move in, take this all down here, and play around Jaina. In the middle of the map, on the other hand, ETC is in trouble again, needs to wait. Last right about to come through, and that's another kill secured for Malthael as he grabs the second stack for his heroic ability and is now at a 10-second cooldown reduction, and that comes just as the curse is on play. So what does that curse accomplish? One fort at the top lane has been eliminated. Down at the bottom of the map, we're having a drag against Surge, but in comes Malthael. Can they get a kill? Well, together with Malfurion, they definitely can. So that's going to be another kill for them. And with the Haka now dead, Mid lane gets attacked here too, but it doesn't really seem like they can get much more than that. So they took down quite a couple of towers and gates, they took down the top fort, but they haven't really been able to get a solid lead here. Instead, they've fallen behind in experience right now. And this is something that I've actually said or talked about just recently. One of the big problems when you curse your opponent is that you will lose a lot of experience if you don't have a hero on every single lane. Why is that? Your opponent's minions spawn with a single hit point, your own minions still push through. So while your minions still survive because nothing threatens them, they obliterate the opponent's minion wave, which means that experience is lost if you're not nearby. The experience in your own minions accumulates though as wave after wave builds up, and all that your opponent has to do is wait and take those minions then down by themselves. So that's one of the reasons why we now have a massive experience lead for the Moustaches. So oftentimes you want to split your army a little bit more here, your heroes, and obviously you can't die in the process either. Nice save on the Haka, and that APOC again was a little bit too random. If you go for these APOCs, you normally want to have either a setup, maybe from the Entomb, maybe from a stun, or you want to just go for a self setup. And with that, you go for, you cast your heroic ability first, you shadow charge in, and then you flip the target over into the APOC. There's the Entomb again, getting dodged out. A little bit too early, actually. Should have tried and dodged out this one, but then misplay as they get pushed out again. Zemba attacking. Blau Ming gets pushed back too, and another kill just before the Ancestral comes through for Malthael as he accumulates another stack and is sitting at 3. All of this happening with Li Ming currently sitting in the middle. Massive aggression here from the blue team. And obviously down to the bottom of the map, another Siege Giant camp that is soon going to do the damage. 16 in the hands of the Moustaches, and we have them also with another tribute soon to be taken. Up at the top, seems like a bit of a attempt to maybe go for the boss here. I don't think that that's going to work out for them. They still try it. All right. Nobody's sitting around, nobody checking it out. This is actually a horrible decision, to be honest. You are down a talent and you are going for boss. That's a horrible decision. If the blue team would have played this a little bit better, they could have wrecked everything. And now they might be too late because they rotated everybody down. But this could still backfire. But you never want to be in that spot. If that works out, then it's pure luck. And yep, there we go. Okay, they push that back, but again, they might still lose heroes here. So that is an insane risk that you kind of don't want to take. Another stack acquired, 20-second cooldown reduction. They're losing one, they might lose another. They actually should lose ETC here. That's going to be the slow, and that's going to be the end of him. So 2 heroes down. They got the boss regardless, but this is something you never want to do, guys. At least 1 kill against Malfurion, but obviously the Haka is going to pay the price now too. If you're down a talent, you never want to go for boss unless, and here's the big exception, you are perfectly aware where your opponent is. If you are at the top boss and you know they are bot lane because you have vision on them, for example, then you can make that play. But if there's a chance that they are going for you there, then don't do it. So the reason why the red team actually did it was very likely because the tribute spawned bot side and they expected everybody from the blue team to rotate in to get this one. And to be honest, too many heroes rotated over there. Another kill. Ooh, nice! Lucy gets away. That's 2 tributes against 1 now as they snuck this one in. But yeah, the blue team had initially Diablo here. And if he would have stayed, or anybody else, more in the area and so a little bit earlier that the boss is taken, then they could have just gone in, take the boss, and get the kills on top of that. So that was an insanely risky play from the Potatoes. And they get the boss, but they lost 3 heroes in the process, so I would still call that a win for the Moustaches. Then again, we're looking at 4 stacks also for Malthael, and that is also a huge problem. I mean, he is definitely starting to chip in heavily. Damage output for him is on 27,000. Here comes again the Entomb. Alright. Reyna. Ancestral is too late. Seen that a few times now. And a problem for Zemba. He is trying to get those out, but he doesn't want to waste the cooldown, it seems, and that oftentimes results in the target receiving the ult a bit too late. So there's another kill that we're now seeing, and another boss attempt in this case. And this is a little bit better, but it's still a bit risky. You have a 5 versus 4, and there's a camp at the top. But again, this is still a risky play, especially since there are still a couple of abilities available on the other side. Stun into, and this is why it's risky. Stun straight into the boss stun. but still, ETC falls as well. Can still fight this. 4 versus 3 right now. They're trying to make the plays. Lucy wants the resets. Can he get them? Doesn't seem like it. That boss is still up, and that boss is murdering. Down go Rhaegar, Malth, and Leo, and Lucy steals the boss away. Yep, and gets another kill in. They're taking everything right now. They are taking their lunch money, they're taking their house, they're taking their car, and they're taking their gym membership. Everything is lost here for the mustaches in that little encounter. Perfect showcase again, why even with a 1 hero lead, it can be extremely risky to go for a play like that, especially if you have a Li Ming against you. So right now, Blauer Mink again on the move back. 2 tributes against 2 tributes now. That actually lead that we had in experience for the blue team is nearly gone now. And they can work at the middle. And that's exactly what we're doing here. Yep, Lucy at this point should pretty much have top damage. Yep, 38,000 for him, 65,000 on the siege. And 0 deaths on Dibbles, the only hero that hasn't taken a single hit to the death count yet. Boss gets taken down. But again, as I said before, Diablo also with the most damage in the game, by the way, for the blue team. Has put more damage in than anyone else. But with the level 16 talent, with the level 4 talent, the level 10 talent and the 4 stacks, there we have the 2 numbers finally lined up correctly. Malthael still can get a lot of damage output here. In the last fight he got stunned out by the boss, which led to this entire setup. But, yep. So right now, we're having, once again, the tribute. And this is a cursed tribute. This is a cursed tribute, as a camp was taken, again, in the middle of the map. Just in time. Dibbles looking for the setup. APOC. Again, the APOC setups that he has are really not great. If he had to combo a little bit deeper, that would be another thing. But he gets a ton of damage out with these little plays here. Nice move again with the burrow, making sure that he doesn't fall. There comes the ring, though. And Jaina goes down, but we should see the kill against Ehaka. At the same time, there's the Hellgate. Level 20 abilities are ready for them. Oh, but Malthael falls. Malthael is dead, and now they are a hero down again. Dibbles is trying to hold the line here at the front, but this time he is going to die too. Blauer Mink is about to fall, and this is going to be a curse against them. Malthael is back, but it's still a really tough spot now for the blue team to be in, as they lose Malfurion too. Yeah, Leo, they needed a good buried alive there, and it came in, but the damage just wasn't ready for them. Big problem, and now with the curse, not only does the top keep receive a ton of damage, but at the same time we are having a massive push down to the bottom of the map, where we are having the potatoes with another attempt to go straight in for a second keep. And yeah, keep is down. I don't think that they can end the game here, but they can definitely do a little bit more work. They tried to end the game though. They're trying. Leo has his entomb. Leo can go for buried alive and needs to come in. I have no idea why Leo is still sitting there, as the core is already starting to lose some HP. He's still trying to save that keep. He might be able to do that, but the core is currently falling. And Leo, for some reason, is still saying like, fuck it, I'm top lane. As the kill against Li Ming, Rhaegar is down 2. Where's the entomb when you need it? Well, there it is, hitting 2, 20,000 damage, and the Siege Shine and the Catapult still doing work. And here goes Reyna, but the core is down, and that is game. The potatoes, they take the lead. Game number 2. We had a little bit of a game of throws there in the first game. It felt a little bit like Season 7, to be honest with you. So, yeah, in this case, the potatoes, they've taken the lead, but the Moustaches made a couple of questionable decisions there, if you ask me. First of all, that little go for the boss that wasn't quite needed, and then Leo with the attempt to save the keep at the top. That definitely made sure they couldn't save the core there. Now, this late in the game, with both of the teams on level 20, would it have changed the game? Pretty much what would have happened is an attempt to go for a counter core, so maybe not quite working. It would have had to go through a keep at the bot lane, but they already eliminated the fort earlier, so there's a chance that they could have made the play. But it turned out pretty differently, so now as we're heading into our second game, we have that lead in the best of 5. For the potatoes. And on Battlefield, the ban against Greymane, as we've already seen this before. A lot of bans against heroes that are quite strong against the objective. That's Greymane, that's Hanzo, and that's also Tyrande. Nubura gets banned out as well, so that's already limiting the options a little bit when you're trying to burn the objective down and get a lead through that. Li Ming is still open, and that's something that I would actually heavily suggest for the mustaches to take away. But they go for Dibbles. Again, they love their Diablo and they love their Leo. Blauer Ming, actually, with this Diablo, it's not too bad. The problem are really his ults. There's a Li Ming pick, and that's the one hero that I wouldn't have given Lucy. Lucy absolutely murdered people in the last game. Out of the 15 kills that the red team got, Lucy got 10. And especially the fight around the boss was pretty much Lucy just going ham. So that would have been my first pick or a ban if I'm on the side of the Moustaches. I would have made sure that he has no chance of playing that hero again, especially since it's great on this map. The ETC pick is also good. Reyna coming in, and as I said before, Diablo, he just needs to get his ult set up a little bit better. Either waiting for someone else to create an opportunity for him to get good value there, or executing the combo properly with ult into Shadow Charge, into flip over into the ult. But outside of that, he has been doing a decent job with those moves. Thrall gets banned out now, first of all, so that's currently happening here. What else do you ban? I mean, at this point, let me have a look. What else? Honestly, if I'm Potatoes, I pick Blaze. There's the ban against Stukov. Ah! I mean, Malfurion is still up, so I'm not quite sure why this Stukov ban is not mixing. Maybe they played that before here. And again, it's not horrible, but still, I would be more worried about something like Malfurion, to be honest, looking at this right now. There's the Sonya pick. And Uther! Alright. Seems like we're going to get a quick Divine Shield. Depending on the setup here. Let me guess what's on the offlane. Leo. Like, they played Leo like 1,000 times, it feels. So, why change that right now? That's most of the question. But yeah. Double pick it towards the end. I would still expect Leo. And what's the second damage dealer for them? Do they want to go for a mage here as well? Or are we shifting things up a little bit? Tracer! Leo gets played and Tracer comes in. Tracer, Reyna getting played by them. With a good Tracer player can make quite a couple of moves here that also could trigger Zemba going into the Divine Storm with Uther to go supply another stun. And here comes Cassia as the last pick. Alright guys, so let's head straight into game number 2. The Potatoes are currently in the lead. The Moustaches, they want to mash them. And with that, we're going to find out if that's possible for them. Battlefield of Eternity is map number 2. Game number 2! We are on Battlefield. Blauer Mink on the left side. Playing here with Diablo again, Marco and Leoric. I've seen this before. Okapi on Tracer, Faldas on Rhaegar, and Surge on Reyna. Alrighty, on the right side, Lucy again on Li Ming. If they win this game again, I can guarantee that Li Ming will be banned out or taken away in game number 3. Oriel Wood on Sonya, Morse on Cassia, Zemba on Uther, and Maxi Monster on ETC. And as it happens, we're now seeing a Thunderstroke on level 1, and we have also Hammer of the Lightbringer. A little bit more about mana here than anything else. Cooler reduction that can kick in later, Consume Vitality taken, and in this case, the Feast on Fear now, once again, to get those moves and then the extra sustain for him. Yeah, ready to rumble. Let's go. Ace in the hole also for Reyna on level 1. If it was China, that would definitely be the other thingy. It does extra damage against the Immortal. I already forgot what the name is. It really just haunted me for weeks in which Gold League took place. The Chinese really like that Exterminator. It's actually not too bad on the map, depending on the lineup that you're playing with. But they pick that talent everywhere, like on every map. As it happens now, though, we have already a Tracer just blinking out from this one. But yeah, let's see how Tracer's gonna do here. The Tracer show is definitely the one thing to watch out for, and obviously Lucy and his performance on Li Ming. And as we are talking about it, they're already performing. They're starting to go in against Dibbles. Attempted kill against ETC, but that doesn't quite work out. So yeah, ETC survives, Diablo is dead. And Cassia has 7 stacks on the Thunderstroke. And that's already pretty good stacking here in the early game. Now the ban again. Oh, Lucy. Whew. Yeah, not looking too pretty there. Zemba, of course, on Uther, so make sure that he also gets those heals. So this is actually one of the heroes that's going to be tricky for Tracer to deal with. Now, if you're talking about stuns, there's pretty much two heroes to really watch out for, and that's ETC and that's Uther. Both of those can supply quite a few stuns. Talking stuns, there's one. Well, Maximons is a little bit low. Tracer is also low, though, and has to be careful with the invade now. But they can definitely go for the camp here. Sonya can also, with a good hit on the spear, do some work here, don't get me wrong. But yeah, there's the push out any second. They're still moving on top, and Tracer is dead. The camp is taken. And yeah, that's ETC, just with a face melt, pushing them away here. Nobody engaging early enough. And yep, that's now both. Great lead for them. They are doing work. The potatoes, I tell you. 15 stacks now on the level 1, and the potatoes are just hammering it. The thing is, the potatoes don't have to win the game. The potatoes just have to give the opportunity to their opponent to lose it. And that's one strategy that you can apply. But right now, they're actually winning it. I mean, right now, they're actually doing really well. But with the last game that we saw there, that's definitely something that you have to consider there at least. So the camp is taken, and both sides are currently trying to go for it. And this is a bit late, because now the Immortal might actually attack a bit earlier. Instead, they're going down for the bottom of the map. 16 stacks now on the level 1 for Cassia. She loves to be in that position. And a bit of early damage against this. Why is Li Ming so amazing on this map? Pretty much because now in these situations, she can just continuously throw out the damage, and either someone on the blue team soaks it up, or they let it through, and she gets the Immortal value. That's pretty much what we're talking about. Zemba, on the other hand, survives because Tracer misses the connect with the ult. That would have been a problem. That could have been a dead Uther there for sure. But yeah, that's really the reason, or the play where Lucy can now start poking from the distance the entire time. And honestly, you should do a lot more than that. Li Ming is an absolutely insane hero here. But they are a bit late to that party, and all of a sudden we're seeing the halftime show about to be won by the Moustaches. A little bit unfortunate for them. ETC, did you overstay? Oh, sorry, did Dibbles overstay is welcome? That's the next question here. Lines are coming through. Diablo's on the run. Rega wants the heal, gets it. And they all survive for now. A slight lead here on the objective for the red team still. And they are quicker with that rotation. And they start to burn that down. Same is now happening on the other side. And so far, so good for them. I mean, again, it's not going to be 100% shields or anything, but still with those 40%, that still is enough value if they move through the bot lane now together. Also, they have, with those globes, another chance to fill up a little bit of mana and hit points. So bot lane with now 10 stacks on the level 1. Obviously, those two globes help ETC a lot. It's actually one of the reasons why we oftentimes don't even see the prog rock taken on this map, simply because it's more difficult for you to get those globes together on that 2-lane map. But as it happens here, we have 12 already, 4 or 5 minutes into the game, and that's obviously thanks also to the Immortal they just took. But the situation is really pretty decent for them. The stacks are coming in well. We're also having now the War Traveler actually taken here. But I was most of all going to try and talk about the level 1 quest, where we have 22 stacks now. The heals on Lucy again, as Tracer doesn't get the kill, and instead gets killed as Lucy is able to connect another combo, and also the Calamity here with Tracer. And as one more hero eliminated. ETC with the Echo Paddle, 14 stacks for him. And the Immortal's still on the way. Immortal's still on the way. 3 kills against 0. The Potatoes. Yep. They are currently doing a lot of damage here with that first Immortal. Oh, they want to kill the entire wall. Not getting that far. Lucy is again the center of attention here for Li Ming. Sorry, for Tracer. But Li Ming gets out. So they're actually saving everybody here. And in the meantime, the top lane is like both of these bad boys are currently just doing their thing. Marco nearly died there and actually doesn't have the fountain anymore. So there's a huge lead that we have for Sonya in this situation. And Sonya can get a kill now. That should be... Oh, apparently she used the spear already. My bad. I thought it was still off cooldown. Didn't see that. Alright. So she still dominates that lane and could eventually get a kill against Leo if he doesn't have the fountain up. And down to the bottom of the map. And Leo dies. Yep. There's the kill right there. And at the bot lane, there's still value to be had. And obviously in this little encounter, we're now going to see a massive amount of stacks coming in for Cassia too. Maximonster on the other hand, he dies. Even the silence couldn't change that, but here comes the Li Ming kill again. Calamity, another kill, and another. One hero dead, and followed by 2 more. And now they're just trying to go for Tracer here. Tracer might escape. And she might not. Down she goes, and that I think is 4 or 5 kills already through Li Ming alone. Told you, should have first picked her or banned her out, one of the two. But now Lucy is just murdering the entire team. 29 stacks for Cassia. I mean, we can take a look at the damage to solidify that a little bit. So, yep, Li Ming on 19,000, 17,000 for Cassia, 0 deaths there too. And with that, we're now having a 2-level lead. We have heroic abilities, and they can easily go for the objective again. Bot lane obviously has to be defended too. And yeah, things are looking grim. It's definitely not an easy game to turn around here. They will try though, and once they have level 10, they have some combos, and they have level 10 just as the halftime show is in. But this is the moment where you really have to say, alright, let's go boys. Throw a bit of a Hail Mary and hope that you're gonna get the lead here. Can't really just go for a race, that's not gonna go well for you. You have to try and get the fight, and again, it's a huge risk, but still, what else are you gonna do here? And where's Leo when you need him? He's the engage hero. He's the one who has to drop the Entomb. There's the stun, and there's the kill. Nice. A good Hyperion being used. Great kill also against Sonya. It was a nice setup here from Diablo. Well played. Leo, again, a little bit late to really have the impact with the Entomb that you kind of want him to have. Now the bot lane is currently being defended here. But it gives the team in blue a little bit more time to go for the objective, and that is what they have to do. Li Ming is doing what she's supposed to do too. She's just starting to poke here from the distance. And this is exactly what I said earlier. Either a hero soaks the damage or you let it through. Those are the 2 options that you have. Damage again against Cassia. Maximonster wants the hit here. Might get it. There's the Entomb, but where's the damage? It isn't there. They might get the kill against ETC on the other hand. The Ancestral connects with Leo, and there's the Divine Shield and the Mosh Pit. Rhaegar, oh my god, 20 HP. And he gets out. But again, this was an Entomb by Leo. The Entomb itself wasn't really bad. The problem is you want to drop the Entomb when you really have kill potential, and that is either through you or through someone else. And everybody else was just too far away to get any value there. So either you hold it back, then you can drop it towards the end of the fight and get the value there, or you make sure that someone else is with you so that they can get the kill. As it stands, we have 2 kills against 8, and now another Immortal topside, and that should result in objective, in fort number 2, now also being eliminated. Leo is going down. He gets dropped. Cassia nearly completes her level 1. Has now also the cooldown reduction here with the Thunder God's Vigor on level 13. And Sonya at the bottom of the map has been eliminated by Tracers. A little bit of a workaround here. Carpia at least gets the solo lane kill. That's pretty awesome for them. But the top lane is still not painting a pretty picture for the Moustaches. They're losing all the outer structures right now. And it also goes for the second turret. So both of the lanes are pretty much in the same spot now. But here's the engage against Uther. And that should be a kill. They're trying to go in for it. Where's the Entomb when you need it? And there it is. Catching 2. Zoning Uther out and catching ETC. There's the bomb, there's the stun, and there's the second kill. Bam! 2 down. 2 down and taken away here. So, with them, we're having now the rotation bot side, but as you can tell, experience is still, I don't want to call it rather even, but it's at least even talents, right? So that's a bit of a win. The level 13 talents, are they going to change things? First of all, we have the Rallying Cry, no giddy up for him. We have the Earth and Shield now too, and Ominous Wraith. That talent alone might honestly be the one that could change a lot here for the Moustaches. If they connect that with Li Ming and Cassia, that would be fantastic. So the Royal Focus is going to help with that on level 60 once it comes in, but a lot of it is going to depend on Leo right now. Which is also why we're needing Leo a lot more with the team. I mean, at this point he's bot lane, where he should be. But they need to make sure that these 5 versus 5 look a little bit different, because so far it was mostly a 4 versus 5 for a long period of time. And then the last hero starting to move in. But obviously experience is something that they're going to try and get now as well. Camp, is it going to spawn in time? 9 seconds on this one. Over here it's another 5, so both of the teams are just gonna go for that. Problem of course is that top lane, all of the turrets are down. There's nothing else to be taken. So if the camp is left alone, it will take a keep. Which is another big one. Yep, there we have it. Another camp taken on both sides. Do they defend top lane or do they just go for the Immortal right now? They have good tools. Land that Entomb, drop the Hyperion, drop the APOC, and you can force a fight and take a kill or 2 or 3. Now they go for the defense. They have to start attacking here a little bit, which is what they're currently trying to do. They actually rotate down and want to get the kill here. There's the Entomb. Hits 1. That's not enough. Stun after the APOC comes in. Good combo from Diablo. They're trying to make the play for Morse. Zemba goes down. Divine Shield. And that's the holy cow with a kill against Tracer. Nice Divine Shield on the Mosh Pit. The holy cow successful, and that's the turnaround, even though one hero is dead already. Lucy stunned into the wall again, not flipped over. Top side, again, the value here, it will be a keep. They need to rotate someone back. Was a good idea, but now 16 is also getting really close for them. And yep, there we have the win for the red team on the objective, at least the halftime show. And at the top lane, I mean, this is not looking good at all for that keep. Keep nearly down, might still fall, will fall either way once that someone else rotates in here. And now they're just firing away against the Immortal. And the Immortal, in this case, if they take it, would actually go down to the bot lane. But that keep at the top side, it's still alive, but it's so low that at some point they're going to send Li Ming over to just land a single combo. And that's going to be the end of the keep. I mean, just look at that thing. Li Ming lands 1 combo here. You can set Cassia and she can take it as well. Obviously not alone, but yeah. 16 also in their hands now. When it comes to the damage output, as we said before, 37,000 for Li Ming. And in addition to that, we're having Cassia with 34,000. Has obviously the Pierce now on level 16 too, which is going to make the entire setup with the completed level 1 quest and the 13 just so much better for her. But they are going to rack with this. This is going to be a keep at the bot lane no matter what you do. That shield is way too high, and obviously the quest is going to be to go for the core itself. So they should be able to, if not end the game, then actually still severely damage everything here. There comes the Hyperion though, so the defense is already being set up. They're trying to play around that. And the Immortal is about to take the keep. Bit of a push there by Leo. No bird alive. That might be something that they can use later if it gets that far to take a bit of a win and claim the fights. But here comes the APOC again. The push in. Could that be the kill against Cassia? Maybe? Oh, no! The bomb doesn't connect. ETC with the Mosh Pit, but it fails. Leo, on the other hand, he dies. Full combo against Khaldor. His Rhaegar takes a ton of damage, and they are going for the core here. Are they? Well, Dibbles goes down, and that might be the end of the game. Keep at the top is still there. Even if they have to retreat, they can take that, but they might be able to finish the game just as they're moving in. 50 points on the core. They're getting more. 40, 30, 20, and they take the game. 2-0 lead for the Potatoes against the Moustaches in this best of 5 series. Game number 3 could be the last one. Best of 5 here, and the Potatoes are on fire right now. Does that make them fries? I don't know. Either way, Moustaches against the Potatoes, and I was talking earlier about how I expected Li Ming to ban out or be taken away. To be honest, Infernal Shrines, she's less attractive here. You can still play her, but she definitely loses a bit of her value. So I'm not so sure anymore if the Moustaches are thinking her worthy of being banned out at this point. But let's see what they can pull off. The first ban is again against Hanzo. And what was the pattern for the Potatoes? They banned out Anubarak, yes, and they do that again. Again, I guess it comes a bit down to the damage there at the end of the day, but right now that second ban is something that really interests me. The thing is, you know what the Moustaches want to play. They want to play the Diablo again, and they want to play the Leoric again. So I could have totally seen something along the lines of a Diablo and or a Leo ban on the side of the Potatoes right now. And also looking at the third ban. There's the Li Ming ban. Just generally speaking, Infernal Shrines, I know Infernal Shrines screw the resets. and Tyrande gets banned out too. Okay. Question here is also, do the potatoes simply pick a couple of those priority picks away? Because I expect Dibbles to be taken again early on. If that's not the case, then you can actually pick him on the other side. I mean, he is great on this map. But why would they change things here? Well, probably because they lost 2 games now. So that's an interesting first pick. I could have seen Diablo first pick. I could have seen a Jaina first pick. Could have seen a lot of first picks here, but Reyna? Really? That high up? Alright. Lucy on Greymane again. And ETC gets picked as well. I mean, Jimmy again can, with a penetrating round, interrupt any kind of mosh pit, but for that he also has to hold the cooldown back there. So... I'm a little bit intrigued. I mean, I would still say Diablo. Again, it's in...
Let's save some lives.
Oh god. Backdoor strategy. Yeah, that's a backdoor right there. You can ban Sylvanas. Greymane is already taken away. That's not too bad, so that's something. But you can ban Sylvanas out, and you can also think about banning... Sylvanas or False that works with that. And the ban Artanis, which is actually pretty good too, because, yeah. So what is this? What is this actually going to do? If you have a Tyrael, Morales and a Reyna with it, then usually you have a backdoor strategy where on level 10 you go into Medivac and you just Medivac onto Keep. You try to burn the Keep down. Reyna drops the Hyperion. Tyrael, once that the opponent moves in, drops the Sanctification. And their whole goal is just to take the Keep down and you suicide in the process. And you do it a couple of times and gain map control through it. Artanis gets banned out because when the opponent moves in and tries to stop you, first you have Sanctification, but in addition to that, you now also have the option to drop the Suppression Pulse and get the Mass Blind in, and then that allows you to stay alive a little bit longer, and that translates usually in you taking the structure down. So what you want if you are on the side of the Moustaches are now heroes that can really do damage to structures. That's pretty much what you're trying to do here. There's Falstad because he can fly in and gust away, and there's Sylvanas. So both of the picks that I said are being taken here, which I honestly think is a bit of a mistake because you still want to have another hero that helps you to survive. I could have totally seen them pick Blaze, for example, for that reason. Might not really be the best, but if you have the bunker, you can do bunker damage against the structure and it keeps you alive a little bit. You can just like hop around the bunker there a little bit, but they go for both of them. So they go full on into a play around that strategy. Blinds come in on the other side and the sleep. And it's pretty much set. They're trying to cheese them. Moustaches play against the potatoes with a backdoor strategy. So let's go straight in for game number 3. Backdoor strategy for the Moustaches. We have Blauer Mink on Morales. The main tank is playing support now. We're seeing Marco and Sylvanas, Surge on Reyna, Faldas on Tyrael, and Okapi on Falstad. Alrighty, on the other side, the potatoes with Lucy on Greymane, Zemba on Deckard Cain, Morse on Cassia, Maximons on ETC, and Oriel Wood on Sonya. And again, the problem here, or one of the problems that we can immediately... There's a couple of problems, but one of the problems we can immediately identify is that A, the potatoes know exactly what's coming. Their ban on Artanis already signaled that they're extremely aware of what's going on here. And B, we're having a single tank, and that tank being Tyrael for the Moustaches. So normally you still want to have another frontliner, because at the end of the day you also have to be able to win at least a couple of fights there, and a triple backline strategy is normally not really all that great. There's a reason why it fell out. I mean, at some point even the monkeys in Storm League or Hero League back then got the memo. They got it 1.5 years too late, but they got it, that you have to have 2 frontliners. And to the day, you have some people that actually complain about 2 tanks being played. So there's a lot of snails that still think that a massive amount of damage dealers in the back is needed and that frontliners don't do damage. But yeah, for the longest time in any kind of competitive setup, it has been proven that a double frontline build is just way superior than having 3 backliners. So with that, we're now having already the setup here towards the top. We're having Falstad trying to work on the stacks. And as long as they don't get wrecked in the early game, that's great for them. They're already moving around here, trying to check the bushes as well, trying to use a bit of the mobility. But obviously the Moustaches... Oh, a kill would be great here. The Moustaches, they need level 10. They need level 10 for this to work, so that's a big one. We're having on the other side the Potatoes with, again, I mean, it's a pretty similar setup to what they played before, at least in the games that we've seen so far from them today. A lot of these things are resembling that strategy that they have. If Li Ming gets banned and is not available, we see a Greymane, or Greymane just generally for Lucy, a good hero. We have also Deckard Cain, who on this map is pretty good. And yeah, on top of that, the Sonya that they seem to like a lot, ETC. Is a lot of preference picks that we have from the Potatoes. There's already a bit of a setup from ETC. Oh, yeah, that could have been a problem. But our Ming plays tank normally, so he's kind of used to face-checking bushes, I guess. But in this case, he plays support and needs to be a little bit more careful when he starts to move into those. I mean, generally speaking, you want to check them either way. But yeah, as a tank, you can often walk into those a little bit more. Anyways, there's again the play for one of the camps, level 4 on both sides, and the Shrine is activating at the top lane, so that's the next one. A bit of a fight down here at the bottom of the map. And the lockdown from Deckard, and the death of Morales. Morales down, Faldas, yeah, not activating the trade value just yet. Falstad flies in, God knows why. But yeah, gets a couple of hits out, and that's about it. And yeah, just I honestly don't know why he flew in there. He already lost the hero. I guess he makes it into a 4 versus 4 for just a second, but that fight was lost the second that Tyrael jumped out. So yeah, they're still trying to push here. Sonya is up at the top, starting to get the stacks together. Down at the bottom of the map, we have a push happening. I'm not quite sure what exactly the Mousters are trying to do here right now, because they are rotating. I mean, they still have Surge in the middle. Okay, so now they're finally starting to rotate a couple of heroes towards the top. But they're absolutely abandoning that bot fort at this point. And again, yes, you want to take those keeps, but at the same time, when your opponent starts taking those forts, they get catapult pressure as well. I honestly don't know what's going on here. Yes, they get the kill against Sonya. I mean, congratulations, but what are you going to do with that? You just lost the fort. And now, I guarantee that these guys are just going to continue to push the bot lane. Whatever they're trying to do here, this is not working. I mean, I know what kind of strategy they're trying to play, and that strategy can work, but you kind of need to react to this. You can't just sit there and kind of say like, alright boys, let's go. Because Greymane left alone on a structure is wrecking that thing apart. And there we have it. Falstad, please get the kill against ETC. God, that would have been hilarious. But yeah, so now the wall is down. They're still getting the top. And they're trying to counter push. Do they understand that this is a keep for a fort? Do they get that? Defend that shit! You're trying to backdoor keeps, but for that you kind of want to save your own. And now we have a couple of heroes moving back, but if you ask me, it's a little bit late. So, yeah, with that, we have a keep. 4 minutes in. I honestly don't know what's going on here. But I mean, Potatoes did everything to tell them. First they sent them a text message that was ignored, and then they sent them a call. That call was denied. Then they were like, okay, fuck it, we're gonna try it with email. They sent them an email and said, like, boys, we're gonna take our keep. They tried pings, they tried everything. They sent them an owl from Hogwarts just to inform them that the keep is gonna be attacked in just a moment. And at that point, the Moustache said just like, nah, don't care. So, yeah, now we're having the fort at the top lane at least eliminated. I mean, again, it's still not an even trade, but at least they got something out of it. But that is the defense of the boss, and, well, once that all things are said and done, hashtag worth it. The Potatoes are going to be very happy with that trade so far. Level 10 obviously going to come in soon, and that is really when that entire backdoor strategy is going to start to build up. But right now, that's a great trade. I mean, that's... I still can't get over the fact that they just watched this the entire time and said like, nah, that's fine. I mean, if I've ever seen a Heroes game where the that's fine meme applied, it's this one. It's like, I honestly can't get over that. Marco goes down, that Sylvana's dead. ETC, on the other hand, gets also eliminated, so that's at least a kill for a kill. Happening in a 5 versus 4, I might add. Lucy. Nearly dying. I mean, that was such a close call. Okay, so again, Lucy at this point, they have level 10. And now it's time to shine. There's the mosh pit. That's something that they're going to try and do whenever the fort, the keep is attacked. So then you need to make sure that you're actually splitting as well, which might also fail. So with that, we're now having the abilities that you would expect. There's the Medivac. It is time to go. And Sylvanas is at the top lane. Alright. So now that we're having our heroics, well, that was a great penetrating round. Sylvanas need to join with the rest of the team, and now they need to set this up and start to attack one of the keeps. And it doesn't work if Tyrael is dead. So Tyrael is dead. He's eliminated. So they can't attack a keep again. They might do it around an objective. They could, but again, can do that whenever. So Tyrael is actually down. They take at least the camp here. But they have to get their heroes together and start that setup if they actually want to play that strategy. Are you suicidal? You have a lot of faith in your ability to jump away with a wave, my friend. That is asking for trouble right there. If they would have rotated down and just simply moved one hero behind her, that could have been a potential kill. Especially since there is absolutely no reason why you couldn't just use a mosh pit for a single hero kill. That's totally fine. Alright, so there we go. They take the camp top lane as a 5-man. Where's my backdoor? Still no backdoor. Okay. It's actually an interesting one because seriously, this entire setup is just looking at the backdoor strategy. All that they do here. But they're just not doing it. Now that the objective is up, they might try and do it around that. But again, you don't have to do it during an objective. If anything, I don't really think you want to. But yeah, so they're still moving around here. They have everything that they need for it. But maybe they've abandoned the game plan? Like, I don't know. But now it's just a fight for a fight if they head into this. Fallas is moving in, checks all of that out, and again, normally plays the support here. There's also the Hyperion already being used. Gust could be used. Yep, that's what we have. They use the Gust and they're going for a straight up fight. So it's, honestly, it starts to look like they abandoned the idea of going for the backdoor here. They're trying to go for a normal play against them. There's Sylvanas already with her ult, trying to get the silence out. They're going straight in for the shrine. They take the position right now. They have a little bit of top lane pressure as well through the shaman camp. And the situation here isn't too bad. Problematic is that there is still a fountain for the red team, so they can pre-tap and go back into the fight. Yep, and there we have the attack. Okay, Reyna. And they go for it. 2 down. And there's the third. I mean, again, they can easily take... They could have gone for that backdoor at any point. Like, the thing is, they've seen their opponent. If, for example, the red team is really close in the bot lane, there could obviously be an attempt to go for the core from the red team. But as long as you see them in the middle or somewhere, you can make that play. And you can also buy a little bit of time for yourself by simply gusting with Falstad and allow the red team to go, allow the blue team to go back. Keep in mind, as long as the red team doesn't actually defend, it's hard for them to really keep everybody away there. Obviously, now it's... Oh, that's a gust attempt. Yeah, and that failed massively. They still keep him alive though, but the bird goes down. Top keep, on the other hand, falls. Top keep is down. Guys, it's even again. It is actually even again. Now they can go for core with a backdoor, by the way. They can try... What the fuck is that Hyperion? Oh, why? In theory, they can go for the core now with a backdoor, but they have to deal with that Punisher first. So, yeah. Again, the only reason that I really can come up with why they didn't go for a backdoor attempt is that they were so scared that their opponents trying to go for a trade on the keep. And again, when we're playing theory, craft obviously never plays out that way. But what could have, I don't know why you would suicide. I mean, anyways, you needed the Hyperion for the defense and they just used it for no reason. Now they are sacrificing heroes just as they need to defend. They might even get kills there, but since everybody is so low, they should be able to defend this, honestly. Especially if Jimmy comes back. If Jimmy had the Hyperion, they're trying to bait it into the middle or something, they're buying themselves more time. This is weird. This is just weird. But Jimmy is gonna be back. He doesn't have the Hyperion anymore, but they have the Sanctification still. I really would love to talk about a little bit more about that theory craft that I was talking about earlier, but this might be the 3-0 if they go for the core. But Sylph is actually murdering a lot of those heroes whenever she gets to connect. She's on 80 stacks already. And yeah, 2 catapults, that's the biggest problem right now. Marco has to deal with them, has to stay and whine and listen. Core has already lost all of its shield and they're going for it. There's the Gust, but the boss is gonna try and end it. There's the Sanctification, and I still think that's not enough. So yep, they're trying to go straight for it, and this is game. This is the Potatoes with a 3-0 against the Mustaches. They win the glory of winning the Rare Cup here in the Grand Final with a 3-0. Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video, and I hope that you enjoyed the match and the commentary. The remaining time of the video has been added to protect against spoilers caused by the length of the video itself. But please keep in mind, though, that this does not only mean more work for me, but also has a negative impact on the popularity of the videos and the channel because of YouTube's algorithms. It would be greatly appreciated if you'd consider supporting the channel and help me to continue the daily esports coverage by clicking the join button below the video or supporting me through the Patreon page linked in the video description. Thanks a lot for the support and see you guys next time.